to be pulling funds from regular public schools, and people will now be able to use them in private religious schools, which frankly pisses me off. There's just so much. I don't even know where to go. I'm going to let Robert get on that because I get a little upset over this.
Well, one of the things you need to add to that comment is the fact that now our teachers in Arizona don't even know how to teach. So what are they going to be teaching? What are they going to be teaching when they go to school? What they know. And what do they know?
Creationism.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be a problem. So, Robert, what do you think?
Can you re-ask the question real quick?
I can't even remember my name at this point. You want me to re-ask the question? What do you think, say in the next 3 months, the things that could possibly affect the secular community in the United States and Arizona?
Well, in the next 3 months, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of change. It's you're not going to start seeing big changes probably in another few years. It's going to start really small, but it's going to be like a brush fire. It's like the cigarette went out, and now everything's starting to burn down. But it's going to start somewhere where something just starts burning down, and then it's going to eventually get into your community. But I don't think that in 3 months' time you're going to see big changes happening. I don't think DeVos has that much power, and all the teachers I know are against her. So she's going to have really big pushback from that community, and I just don't think that we're going to, I don't think secular, sorry, I'm spacing out. I just don't think that in 3 months we're going to see anything major.
Okay, Doug, what do you think?
I agree. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Paige.
Well, I was going to say I agree. I think it'll be slow moving because they're all trying to push their religion into the public schools, and one way to start helping with that, obviously, is decreasing funding and getting more uneducated teachers in there trying to teach. And of course, they've already begun that across the country with saying that evolution is a theory and we need to have creation in there as an alternative theory. And it's already begun. It's just we have got to stay on top of this stuff.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of truth to that. Because that's the thing is as soon as creationism, or what was the big fad, intelligent design, starts popping itself into schools and overriding facts. Oh wait, it already is doing that. Never mind. Okay, so Doug.
Yeah.
Doug, what do you think? I mean, obviously the veterans in this country have been treated like total shit by our government and by our communities and stuff like that. Do you think that some of this religious stuff is actually going to even make it worse than what's been happening now, or do you think that maybe somebody will, well, for the grace of God, go let's give these veterans a hand?
Yeah, right. These guys give us a hand. That's a good one.
That was Scott trying to be the voice of reason.
Yeah. I was trying to be positive there.
When the Vietnam veterans got home, what happened? They lost their wives, their children, their houses. I mean, a lot of them lost everything they had, and the government took most of it. And these guys were off fighting a war that we weren't even supposed to be involved in the first place. Now, let's see. Fast forward to the Gulf War in the early 90s. Same type of thing happened, and the government fucked us all over. You think it's going to be any different now, 20-some years later?
No, I think it's going to be worse, actually.
there's a good chance it is going to be. Yeah.
How do you feel about 45 increasing the military spending to absurd levels?
Well, since he's trying to actually start wars with North Korea, Russia, China, Canada, Mexico, did I leave anybody else out? He's going to need that budget because there's going to be a lot of war going on, apparently.
It's always smart to fight wars on multiple fronts.
Well, yeah.
We all know that. Jesus.
What an idiot. Yeah, I mean, we have...
At this point,
I'm just thinking about...
I think we just skipped over World War III, total nuclear annihilation.
Yeah, well, luckily, if they nuke Phoenix,
We can
we're
only
so
wish.
far we're far enough out that we can actually pack up and leave before the fallout gets here.
I'm going to go on the record saying I'm an atheist and I am praying for Meteor 2018. Hurry the fuck up and just end this shit, please.
End it
The
now.
science says that there's no media.
Well, that's true.
Well,
I mean, if there is a meteor, then it's God's will.
Well, scientists are smart. They can make a fucking meteor. Jesus.
All right. Anyway, let's look at it this way. Now, we're going to increase spending on military operations because our great and wonderful commander-in-chief has decided that he wants war because it's a great thing for this country. Well, you got a point. This country's good at war. We're involved in one on average roughly every 20-some years. And we are good at it. But the problem is he doesn't care how many lives are thrown away.
No, they don't.
Not any one of our great forefathers really gave a shit. Now, we've had a number of our presidents that have been involved in the military, yes. So they understand a good portion of what goes on. But when you get dicks like Trump in the office that don't have a fucking clue, we're all screwed.
Okay, now is Kara the only one that hasn't dropped the F-bomb yet? Because everybody else seems to have thrown that one out there. Yeah, I mean it's well known that our government, legislators, congressmen, senators, blah blah blah, for the most part, I'm not going to say all of them, but for the most part, their kids don't go to war. It's the poor people.
Right.
It's the people of color. It's the people that are living in poverty that have to find a way out that go to war and die and are maimed and are
But
killed.
they're brilliant because they brainwash the poor people into thinking it's an honorable profession.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think it was an honorable profession in the first place. I went basically for schooling.
Which is
That's
another way to
another-
get people
that's
to get
another
into
thing.
it. Yeah, you tell people, hey, we'll pay you for your college degree and blah blah blah, if you make it back, and then they send you into hell's fire. You know.
I do.
I got my
actually-
college degree and I didn't have to leave the fucking country.
I think they get resentful
I got
if
a
people
career.
actually come back.
Yeah.
It's
It's a sad way to look at it.
It's
It
really
is.
sad. It's like, oh, you know what? You can go off into war. Oh, you're probably going to die. We're just going to write you off. We'll start the letter to your family. Whatever. I mean, it's really sad. And then you come back and it's like, oh, well, we don't want to put the cost forth to, I don't know.
to help take care of you.
To help take care of you, you know.
Because that's when veteran supports really needs to happen is when they come home. Okay, that's when the support really needs to happen is once they come home from being in hell's fire.
But the people that are writing the legislation don't understand what hell's fire is, so they're just like, oh, these guys it's just all in their fucking head, or it's all this, or it's all that. It's like,
Hey, Giant Meteor 2018, they'll know what hellfire is.
and then we'll all die. I mean,
Yeah.
so yay.
That's kind
Yeah,
of
but see,
Right.
Go
that
ahead.
comes back to them not wanting to have anyone be successful in life except for them because they rely on the ignorance and the poverty to get people to participate in the wars as well as the labor.
right. Yeah. And when you have an ignorant society in a poverty-stricken society, they're going to take whatever they can get to get out of that.
And that includes voting against your best interest because you have hope for a better future.
Yeah, maybe. So, okay, so we are now
Let
coming up on...
me say something real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
One last thing. So it's actually been scientifically proven that the poorer you are, the more likely you are to go to a religion. Like, you look at the countries where poverty is extremely high, they're also the most religious countries as well. So religion feeds on poverty, it feeds on the uneducated. And that's basically what's happening in this administration right now, is they're trying to push to alleviate public schooling that is secular and pushing for a religious one to get them at a young age, and keeping everyone impoverished so that they cling to these religions to be, their staple life, rather than allowing people to flourish in a secular society where science provides.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of truth to that. So, but anyway, so we're wrapping up. We're going to start doing our PSAs for our next session. Thank all three of you for being here, Paige, Robert, and Doug. It's been a lively conversation.
It's been fucking awesome.
Okay, now we've all dropped the F-bomb.
I don't think I did say the F-bomb, so I'm just going to say...
Do it, Paige.
There we go.
Yay.
Now everybody has said it. We're all equals here.
We rock.
So, okay. All right, so we're going to do our PSAs, and when we come back in about 4 to 5 minutes, we will be talking with Dr. Townsend about the CAFA here in Apache Junction. Stick around with us, listen in, and we will be back shortly.
Are you worried about what your money is paying for when you pay your insurance bill? How many times have you seen a company or agent helping a cause you disagree with? It happens again and again and again. Progressives who want to make sure that they are helping the issues they care about have an agent on their side. Matthew Serra is here to help you save money on your insurance and give you the comfort of mind knowing that you are supporting causes that you hold dear. To see if he can save you money, contact him at 602-753-8574. Make sure you are saving money today.
My name is Scott Pryor, chair of Arizona's LD16 Democrats. One of the things I have noticed since I became active in politics in 2012 is that people in general have increased their value of political affiliation over the value of humanity and community. Interpersonal communication has become more defined by our online communications and less defined by our face-to-face interactions. This has drastically reduced our ability to empathize with one another and find common ground to create real conversation and real solutions. If you frequent Facebook or Twitter or some of the other social media websites, you will see that many people are referring to each other as liberals or conservatives or libtards or Republicans. And many times, what starts as a real logical conversation becomes useless as people move from logical discourse to online shouting matches and name-calling. This type of behavior really must change. As chair of the LD16 Democrats, our local party will begin moving in a new direction. Instead of focusing on political change, we will begin focusing on changing ourselves and our communities. We will attempt to work together with others to help create better communication through cooperation, such as food and clothing drives, friendly competitions such as bowling, riflery, softball games, and yes, even karaoke. Our goal is to try to take the political affiliation out of the primary focus of all of our communications and start treating people as individuals, neighbors, and friends. As a gesture of this new focus, I will begin working to provide free educational seminars to the public, which will give people the proper tools necessary to not only participate in the state governmental process, but also interact with the different committees and legislators that are at the Capitol to represent us.
I look forward to the future and hope that we can all begin